Well, we got a couple more minutes left. We'll get started here shortly. Happy Monday morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a blessed weekend. We have a lot to talk about today.
Patrick, may I say something?
Please.
When I was watching the weekend report and all the time, they need to buy you a bigger chair. You're so tall. It's so hard for a person that is so tall to sit in a tiny chair. I always feel sorry for you because you try to make the best out of it. And I'd be like, whoa. I mean, it's not nice to be too small, but it's also not a blessing to be too tall. But I was like, I see how you try to sit in there good. And I was like, they need to buy
I'm
them a
just happy to get it done.
Patrick, as somebody who is small, I have zero empathy for you. Martina, I have wanted to be taller my whole life. And Patrick and Dylan just stand around here looking all tall, makes me upset.
Everyone comes into my office because I have a standing desk, and they walk into my office and they're like, this makes me feel really tiny because my desk is so high. So,
Well, the good thing is you all know no matter what height you have, you are all great persons. So it doesn't matter if one is taller or shorter. So that's all to it.
That is
yeah.
true. Speaking of Dylan, he's not here.
All right.
Oh, there he is.
Let's see. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, ambassadors of the Root community, how are you? Happy Monday morning. It is 12 p.m. here in Central Standard Time, Nashville. We are excited to talk today. We have a lot of things to discuss. First and foremost, we have some stuff to give away, and by golly, are we going to give it away? Duquesne, can you check on that thing we were talking about before for giving that away, because that's concerning. But we finished something on Friday, and let me tell you, we got a really great response for this Ella Pure contest. I was actually stoked. We are giving away close to $1,000 worth of stuff, and so we have 3 lucky winners to talk about today. We also secretively, very secretively, launched the genetics test. We call it a soft launch. And so we were going to discuss some ways in which how the genetics test can be used, and its offering is to the entire world. And so it is a really, really great tool. And so I really just wanted to make sure that we talk through a couple of the points in which what we're going to be discussing today. So I'm waiting for my sidekick to come back wherever he went. Where's it? Oh, he's still gone. So, let me see. I'm gonna have to share it. Let me get these up here because this is gonna be exciting to talk about. One. Two. All right, I got that one. I'm getting these lined up here because I'm excited to, and I hope they're on the call today. Oh, pause. You guys, I should have been more prepared here, but you know what? Pause. Right. So I'm going to do this. I have to share my screen, guys. So it's like a lot that I have to do to share my screen and to show you guys exactly what I'm trying to share with you. Duquesne, yeah, you've been here the whole time. Oh gosh.
Wes is still working on it, so we can push that to the end. I know.
So I have my 3 that we're going to announce, and
Yeah.
so which is super exciting. So I have them lined up. I'll show the video because we this morning first thing got up, and I don't know about y'all, but I was really excited for this. This contest got a lot of great feedback, a lot of good content came out of it. You guys got to see Marty, who's one of our directors of marketing. He filmed a very special video wearing a root. What was he wearing? He was wearing like a
It
robe.
was one of the root robes from the fashion show back in 2023.
It's like it was like a satin robe. So if you haven't seen that, reach out. Maybe we can send it to you because it was, I think Dr. Ram posted it, right? Or somebody posted it, but
Yeah.
you should watch because
I want to
he,
point out I made 4 videos and all 4 of them were denied.
I was just so for those of you who don't know, Dylan is sort of the, and I'll put quotes, the office clown here.
Whoa, at least they
He
can
has some
meet.
good office jokes, but him and his fiance filmed a series of 4 videos at their home. And I'll give you insight to one of the videos. So one of the videos, he pretended to be a robber. And instead of taking his fiance's wallet, he took the Ella Pure products because, you know, they're more valuable than the wallet. And that was one of his submissions of video, which did get declined.
They were very inspirational, I think. I think I should have a nomination for some kind of award for this, or at least be put on Facebook or Instagram. But anyway, we can go past that. They were good videos.
Oh boy, maybe we'll use that as a joke. I don't know, Dylan. I'm trying, but hey, at least we talked about it. So we'll go ahead and announce the winners. I hope that they're on the call. If you do see your video and we are playing it and you're on the call, I'd love to hear from you after the videos go through. So we're going to go through third place, second place, and then the grand prize winner. Let me make sure I'm here. All right. I'm going to share. So, Dylan, hopefully you're keeping an eye on the chat in case anybody doesn't like to raise their hand. I appreciate that. So, first place, or excuse me, third place, not first place. Let me go ahead and turn the volume on. Is going to be Monica Kuzman. She did such a good job.
Woo, woo, woo. I thought Dylan would do like some cheer. He's usually our supportive one in the office.
Okay, I'm going to kill this one. Second place. I like this song. This is my favorite part about it. Such a good job. And Dylan, do you want to do a drum roll?
That's all I got.
First place.
Offers a soothing and enriched cleansing experience, utilizing a mix of natural extracts and peptides to help purify the skin.
And so just to give a little thought on this, we really appreciated and liked this one because it was kind of an educational video as they were applying it, which was really cool to watch because it kind of told you the benefits of it as they were putting it on. So yeah, it was fun watching all the different videos. Good job, team. Good job, Root community. So what was the prizes again, Patrick? I forgot.
So third place is going to be $100. Second place is going to be $300. And first place is $500. We're going to put together a little product pack from some of the brands. We're going to send you a gift pack from some of the companies. We're going to put some nice little fun things in there. So that is really, really exciting. If you're on the call, raise your hand.
I see
I think I saw Monica.
Kuzman's, yeah.
Raise your hand if you're on the call, Monica, wherever you are.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Who else was on there? It was.
Thank you very much.
There you are. Hey, Monica.
So now you can see me, yeah.
Now I can see you. You did such a good job. Thank you very much for sharing. Did you get any good responses to your video? Did anyone reach out to you and ask about it?
Yes, of course. And some of my clients already order it. So yeah.
That's lovely. And so I think what's really also important for the rest of the community, because I think a lot of people are partaking in this, is really before and after. I think from something like as visible as your face, using, products for your skin. It's really important if you're starting your journey with root products, or if you're trying to promote a journey with root products and share with your community, is to really show like this process of what you're trying to educate them on of getting better, right? And so if you're promoting a beauty line or a skin moisturizer, I mean, heck, even some people have done things with clean spirits of showing really like the difference of how their face or their facial structure or their eyes, the whites of their eyes changing, or the colors of their eyes. These are all really good aspects to show before and after, and showcasing your progress of 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. I mean, heck, I think I saw, who was that? That was somebody in a group that it was 7 days taking the new peptides, and they had shown a significant improvement in just the wrinkles around their eyes, the bags under their eyes. I know that a lot of individuals are seeing some remarkable improvements with utilizing the peptide 3-step process line. So keep it coming. And obviously, look, we're trying to help create momentum for you, for your business, for your community, to share, to spread awareness, to share the products, because there's not many companies, especially from an Ella Pure standpoint, that are doing this. And I think it's really important to really lay the groundwork and to help support you, and also force you and push you into putting yourself out there. And I think this was a really good way to do that.
And to just build off that, if you all as ambassadors have anyone that is interested in the peptide line, but they might need a little encouragement, you can ask them to go to the tagged videos on the Root Brand's Instagram, and they can see all the different people who posted videos and are talking about the peptide line. And
Yep.
so that's a great way to maybe just have an extra tool in your toolbox to, help you provide more information to your customers. And because maybe you don't have the exact thing that they want to hear, but they can go watch one of those videos, and maybe somebody in those videos says something that really resonates with your customer and might convince them to give it a try. So again, I put this in the chat, but thank you for everyone who participated. Going off of that, thank you for everyone who has added a video. If you are in the silver group chat, that has talked about why they love Root. I think Ted talked about this last week. Dylan and I weren't here. We were driving back from Atlanta, but we would love to see more videos of people talking about why they love Root. That's another great way to just kind of gain some traction. I actually posted one in the silver chat as well. Haven't seen one from Patrick. That's okay. Or Dylan, but I made mine. That's all that matters.
Am I allowed to just post a video I make?
I don't know.
We should check before you post. I was going to do one over the weekend. Guys, we're on like high baby alert right now, and my wife has been having contractions all weekend. So I forgot. But I am going to do one. I'll do one today. I'll promise you that. Monica, you have your hand raised.
Yes, I would like to ask you if you can tell us, like in 3 sentences, the main difference between Reno and Ella Pure Cream.
So this is really good. Duquesne, you want to start?
Well, no, I was just going to say we've been getting this question, so we actually made a post about it, I believe, on Instagram.
Yeah, I saw it, but maybe with few words, express with words, not just on written text. Thank you.
You want to go Duquesne first?
Me? Oh, yeah. Goodness. So Reno, both of them are in many ways luxury beauty items, but Reno focuses on using the phytoplankton as a way of rejuvenating your skin and rejuvenating and protecting your skin from environmental, causes or issues out there. And so the phytoplankton is the main ingredient there, and its focus is really that rejuvenation.
And now the hyaluronic acid. That's a big part of the Reno.
Yes. And so Dr. Ram has talked about this plenty of times, but the phytoplankton she uses is probably the most limited high-end ingredient that we use, that Dr. Ram uses in any product she has. It would probably be a tie between that and I would say the colostrum. And so that's one of the reasons that you see that Give Me Back My Youth and the Reno are really high-end products. The peptide line, its main ingredients really are more of the peptides that it has in it, and it targets the fine lines and kind of the anti-aging aspect. You can use both. We've got this a lot, but it really depends on what you're focusing on. And if you're focusing on that rejuvenation of your skin because you might have had some skin damage or other things like that, that's where Reno really comes into play.
Yep.
Versus peptides is more of the fine lines and kind of natural aging. That's a good way of thinking about it. The natural aging that affects all of us.
I was actually gonna alley-oop to Dylan really quick because you're saying a lot of really good buzzwords, Duquesne, that I think that I want to make sure that everyone's aware of peptides because it's a really, really big buzzword lately. And what we mean by peptides and like a collagen producing peptide. So Dylan's also in a lot of and peptides really are in like the fitness world right now. They're a really huge buzzword in fitness, from things like TP 500, BPC 157, semaglutides. These all fall in a range of peptides. So Dylan, you wanna riff on that a little bit just to explain why this was formulated with the collagen producing peptide?
Of course, yeah. Actually, I'm going to start out with the marine-based phytoplankton. Why it's so good, first off, and Reno specifically. Marine-based phytoplankton is good for oxidative stress and also recovery, because that's why you'll see it in Crush as well. But that's used for skin topically because it really focuses on what's called photoaging, and that's called sun damage. So marine-based phytoplankton, think of that as being oxidative support and active recovery internally and externally on your skin if used topically. Now, going from that to the new peptide moisturizer, those peptides like Patrick and Duquesne were talking about, your skin and body uses peptides as the building blocks of what you use. Peptides for muscle building are amino acids that will build they're the building blocks of muscles. L-leucine is the main building block for muscles internally. So our moisturizer is using, I'm trying to talk slow, by the way. Our moisturizer is using these peptides, which are the building blocks to your skin cells. So it's actually going to help your skin to rejuvenate and recover in that kind of sense. That would be the main difference, in my opinion, of those two. One, like Duquesne mentioned, the sourcing of phytoplankton is really hard. That's why Reno is what it is. And same thing for Crush, because it's in there as well. But Reno and the moisturizer are both great to use together. Because if you think about it this way, the moisturizer rebuilding the skin cells for the peptides is going to be coupled with the photoaging, then the anti-aging and antioxidant support of Reno. So that's a kind of short sentence of how to combine those two.
Yeah, hopefully, and great explanation, Dylan. Thank you for sharing. I've used both Reno and the peptide moisturizer, and I notice a difference between the two. I actually really enjoy the peptide moisturizer. A little bit more than I do the Reno, but I know that the Reno has like it like fits a purpose for me as well. So when I was doing the video and then, running through a couple of the sample videos that we were making, the peptide moisturizer, for some reason, after the serum, like applied phenomenally, felt great on my skin, and I have super sensitive skin. And so that's a really great way to help explain the differences between the two. Yes, Jennifer.
Hi, y'all, and congrats to the winners. With the Reno, is it Reno or Reno?
We say Reno.
Reno, okay. I really like that product, and I just started using the 3-step, obviously, within the last few days. If I want to, obviously, I'm going to use both. Will we use the peptide line more so at night and then use the Reno during the day? Is that how are we supposed to do it, or what are your thoughts?
So there is no right or wrong answer. I will tell you from my experience, that's what I've been doing, because I use like a face wash in the shower in the morning when I'm getting ready. And so I usually use like that 3-step process as like my nighttime routine, getting into bed. face wash, cleanser, serum. You know, I really kind of do that routine before bed. So I think there might be somebody on this call that's like, no, I actually use that, you know, for the beginning of my day. But, you know, if you're a woman, if you're applying makeup during the day, you know, I feel like the 3-step peptide process is more so like the cleansing of your skin and your pores, the serum, and then the moisturizer is after a long day of, you know, having makeup on your face, applying foundation, et cetera, being exposed to environmental pollutants, et cetera. So I would say that to each their own, but I've personally have been doing it at night.
Thank you.
My fiance Branda, she does it in the morning as soon as she wakes up, and she'll do the 3-step peptide in order. So she'll do cleanser, then she'll do the peptide serum, and then she'll put the moisturizer on her skin, go to her work, go throughout her day, and then when she gets home, she'll clean her face off using the same step process. And at night is when she'll use her Reno. I'm only saying her because she takes much better care of herself than I do.
And probably me as well. So again, there is no right or wrong way, but I think to each their own, right? Feel it out, see how you like it. Also, the 3-step peptide products we also know are expensive, right? And so formulate how often you want to use it based upon, and a lot of rejuvenation, recovery, those things happen at night when you're falling into deep sleep, REM sleep. Nighttime is really when the body is recovering. And so maybe it's best for you. It really depends. Which brings us to our next point of what we're going to be talking about, which is talking about how you find out more information about yourself. Guys, you know how excited Dylan and I are to bring back the genetics test? And not only bring back the genetics test, bring it back better and cheaper. And commissions are now involved. Say what? So let's talk about this. And let's talk a little bit about all the things regarding the genetics test. And maybe I might not go in order. I might riff off this a little bit. First and foremost, the genetics test is available internationally. We are saying, and I know I've already had a couple people from Australia reach out to me, and so we are not promoting Australia, but if there's a select few here and there, we'll try and make it work. There is the obvious of we have to ship this, right? And so it is going to be trying and sometimes difficult and a lengthy process. So I believe we did put on the PDP up to about 45 days for not only to shipping, handling, and then getting your test results. So keep in mind, especially if you're international in Germany, that Germany has the kits, Switzerland has the kits, and some of our other satellite partners have them. But they're going to have to ship the kit to you, you ship the kit back to them, and then they're going to ship the kits back to the lab, and then the test is then done. The test isn't like a 1, 2, 3, like they put it in a machine and they get it. That takes some time as well. So please know there is going to be a time delay in getting the results. Same thing with UK, Laura. The other aspect of that is, and somebody asked me, God forbid, like if one of them gets lost or if something happens in the mail, we will then just ship out another kit to you so that the test can be retaken. And I want to dive into this, and I know that I'm bouncing around because I know that there is some concerns from like genetics, and especially for those of you who might have looked up or follow the news, you also know like 23andMe, there was this huge breach. 23andMe, there's this whole breakup. It's a publicly traded company. They apparently, and depends on where you fall on the aisle, that believe that they were kind of selling to insurance companies the data in which that everything was being built upon to insurance companies, which is really freaking scary. And that's one of the reasons why I never did any of the genetic tests prior, because I didn't really want to find out where my ancestors were from in the world. I didn't feel like it was that important, and I also just didn't want to share my genetic history and my DNA. So, first and foremost, I want to make sure that I help everyone understand. There is no way, shape, or form that anyone can find out anything about you because everything is de-identified. And what that means is in the medical industry, de-identified means that there is nothing attached to your name. There is nothing aligned with your name on the kit. It's a code that gets assigned, and you just get an email with your results. The company in which that you're using is managed by a publicly traded company in terms of security. So they have a security company that basically monitors from a medical standpoint this facility, and they use cloud-based data to help basically run their server in terms that it's double encrypted, right? So it's encrypted when they send it, it's encrypted when it's received. Everything is encrypted on that infrastructure of the cloud. Nothing is shared. It's only the kit ID that's shared. And so what's great about the system that we use, thank you, Dylan. Dylan's here. Dylan, hold that. Let me hold that right there. Let me get you big time spotlight for everybody. Everyone can see. So that is basically what's on everybody's kit. That is the only thing that assigns the kit to a user. What's really great about the system in which that we're working in and the lab that we're using is that after you get your results, you can also ask to have all of your data be completely erased from the system. So you'll get an email with the book of you that we've been telling you about. And so once you get your results, and a lot of the results are a web-based, but you can download them to your device and save them. You can ask for your data to all be removed. And that's just your information about your test results. It has nothing to do with your name. It has nothing to do with your history of who you are, your ancestors. All of that can be absolutely deleted. And so I really wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that we are not going to work with a company that could potentially put our customers or our ambassadors at risk. And, we did our due diligence before sharing anything and going down this venture of offering this product to our community without making sure that privacy, security was at like the top of the list. And so hopefully everyone feels comfortable and confident about that because that is very, very important to us. And there are multiple measures that are taking place to ensure that your data is safe. And when I say your data, really just your genetic results, because your name, your email, none of that, all of that is done outside. Duquesne, did you want to add anything to that? You look like you were ready to talk, so I kind of intuitively know when you want to say something.
No, but we had a question in the chat, and so I wanted us to talk about it, and I was going to ask it to you so you see it. But it's asking, what does our genetic test offer that's different from a genetic test that somebody might get at a doctor's office?
Yeah.
I know off the top of my head, and I know you can go much into more detail about this, but ours does offer what you can use specifically through the Root Brand site to help with certain deficiencies you have. And so it doesn't just say, hey, you need more zinc, because that's what a lot of genetic tests will say. It will say, you need more zinc. You can do this to get more zinc. And so I know that is one way that ours is more special. Patrick, I'm sure you have more, or Dylan, to go off of that.
So we have 6 tests in which, sorry, not tests, but 6 parameters in which the test results come through. That's a nutrient, perform, slim, renew, CBD, and cannabis. And those last 2 that I just mentioned are very, very different in regards to testing results. I have never seen a genetic test be able to give CBD and cannabis results, which help obviously cannabis and CBD has really become a rise in popularity in terms of healing, in terms of recovery. And so to be able to figure out what type of a CBD or what type of a cannabis you should be utilizing for your genetic disposition is super helpful for a lot of people, because maybe they've taken part and are using the wrong form. The other aspect that is really interesting is it's broken down in each one of these things, each one of those categories, excuse me, that I just gave you, in terms of, for example, and Dylan, please chime in,
Yeah, I was
really,
going.
like, when is it best for you to eat? When is it best for you to work out? When is it best for you? Are you satiated? Can you just continue to eat, like what we found out very hilariously by Clayton's test results? Um, Dylan,
Yeah, let me start ripping some stuff. One of my favorite ones is the perform section of the
Mhm.
genetic test, and only because I like the fitness aspect of it. But some of these things that our test will tell you is much different than other tests. A lot of other tests will tell you, here is a stat that you'll need to have a doctor read off to you, and it's very hard to interpret. The test we have goes down in order, about 15 to even, I think, 25 in some of the categories. So those 6 categories he mentioned are broken down. And here's some examples: power and endurance potential, grip strength and muscular fitness, your VO2 max. And those are broken down to say, like, you're below average in this, you should train this way. Or you need this aspect to be increased because your genetic factors are telling you this. It's completely based on your own potentials that's ingrained into your body, which is insane to actually understand that. But it doesn't just tell you the answers and results, but it goes down and tells you how you can train or change your life to actually work with those results. Now, what Duquesne mentions, pretty incredible too. It also gives you recommendations on when you should take products. So think about that as an ambassador standpoint. Our test, if you're telling your community to take this, will also jump into the products and tell them, hey, you need to have immune defense shield in your life, or you need to have some crush because of what you're lacking in your genetic factors. Um, Going back to what other tests might offer, they really do just offer long sheets where you'll have to probably hire someone else to break it down for you. And the other thing, a lot of tests do offer product influences, but it costs almost double. Yeah, what we're offering for this test is all same price. You'll get all 6 of the variants that you'll be tested for, and you get the products all for the same price as what most people will be charging about $1,300 for. 10x health.
Thank you, Dylan.
So
I think what's really interesting is the product recommendations that are in there, depending on where you fall on your genetic disposition, is one of the most important aspects in which where you can get product recommendations that also are hyperlinked into the website. And so not only are we talking to you about this being a new product, but we're also talking to you about how to promote it within your infrastructure, your ecosystem, and to your community. And so utilizing this tool is a really good step into a conversation with somebody of like, hey, I know I've been telling you about these products for a long time. Why don't you go ahead and get a test, get your results, and also figure out what products are best for you and what should you be using, because you might be telling somebody to take Trinity and Relive Greens, but really they should be taking Clean Spirits and Give Me Back My Youth. So really, really great example. The other thing is that we did a Root U on this, and that Root U video is on YouTube. And so I know a lot of you are asking about like us to really go in depth and explain. That deck has been presented by Dr. Ram. And I think it was a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month or so. So please go on YouTube and look at the Root University so that you can get that deck. Also, we are looking at updating. I saw this morning that the German website was not updated with the list of all of each one of the 6 that Dylan and I went over with you, of all like which genetics are being tested for. If you go to the US website, though, it's there. So I know that our team is working on updating that on the DE website. I apologize. I did not notice that until this morning. So I'm so sorry that that happened. But you can go onto the English website, and if you want, you can translate it. Obviously, it's just a Google Translate to the German site until we update the DE. But you can go through and look at each one, the renew, the nutrient, the perform, to see all the biomarkers that that test entails.
One thing I will say too, though, because I got this question in the chat. I would recommend, if you're going to be promoting this to your community, to get a test yourself. That way you can see how it is in the back office. Obviously, we can tell you about it and we can kind of describe it to you so you can relate that information. But what we don't show on the PDP, the product display pages for this, is the exact, like, this talks about systematic inflammation, caffeine metabolism, carb utilization, fat utilization, protein utilization. It breaks down a lot of things that aren't on the PDP. And if you have the information from a test result, it's much easier to talk about it to your communities. That's just, I know we can do one pagers, we can do decks all the time, but until you actually get the information and see it, because until I did mine, I had no idea that this whole thing was offered. I knew it was a great test, but then I actually saw the results and I realized how intuitive they actually were. So to see that is pretty incredible.
I want to build off what you're saying a little bit, Dylan. So Dr. Ram and Clayton had got some feedback from ambassadors that when we explain stuff and do like deep dive root use before a product is out on the market, it is tougher for you all to understand it because you don't have it physically in front of you so you can look at everything. And so over the next couple of weeks, we're going to keep pushing out more information on the genetics. And so if you don't feel completely comfortable with it right now, that makes sense. We understand that. So over the next 3 weeks, we're going to continue pushing out more information about it, kind of similar to how we did with peptides. And we're going to continue to teach more to the community as it's launched. And what we've heard from ambassadors, and a lot of this came when they were at the Schweinfurt event, is that it helps for it to be on the market. Leaders and top people who want to try it themselves can get it. Then we can continue to educate you all, as some of you all will have it in front of you, and we can continue to go from there. And so this is not a 1 month product. So it's not like a one hit wonder. This is going to be part of the root community forever. And so we will continue to push more out and continue to teach about it. And so we're starting with the ambassadors. That's why we're here today. There is a root U about it. I'm sure more root U's will come as travel slows down a little bit so we can go into specific questions. But this is a slow roll out, okay? This is not something that you have to get this month. And if you don't get this month, it's going to be gone. This is going to be here for a while. Once we get questions from you all and know what you really want, we'll build more information, build more product pages for you all, and have it for you. But again, as ambassadors, that's why we're going to you all first, so we can see what questions you have, and we can really make you all be part of this community and give us feedback. And so please don't panic because there's not a ton of information right now. That's why we are telling you all first, and then we'll gather that information and put it out, because we don't want to put out information that's not useful for you all. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. The one other thing I want to bring up, and Dylan did talk about this, but this is really the book of you. And what Clayton and Dr. Ram really wanted is they wanted everybody to be able to take a genetic test and really take their health into their own hands. That is why the Root Brands was created. And you all know that. You've heard Clayton and Dr. Ram say it all the time. But that is really one of the things that makes this test special. And Dylan brought this up, is that the goal is that you can get this test and you can be in charge of what you want to do for your health. And same with your customers. Theoretically, somebody could get this genetic test and they end up not buying any root products, but they still learn about their health and they really get to take control of their health. Now, the hope is that they can take that and they know, hey, this one company has a lot of what I need. Let's try it there first. But it really does empower people to take charge of their own health through this genetic test.
Hey, can I touch on 2 questions? Actually, just some questions I see in the chat instead of replying because I see you guys firing them off. Wendy, This is something you will not have to do again. It's a genetic test, not like a blood test. So genetic test for everyone on the call, it's a one and done. It'll tell you your markers that you're genetically predisposed to. These are things that cannot change, but you can change the way you're living once you find these out. This test is a marker that will not change. That's why it's such a good, it's such a massive asset when you're really trying to get to a better life. The test results will also be separated into English and German. And the test itself that was shipped to the German warehouse is split to have both languages. And everything in the test, if you haven't seen it yet, it very handy. It comes with instructions of what you need to do. So there's pretty much no guesswork. Everything's laid out in front of you. And Patrick really did a really good job on this next part. But Patrick has been working with Edwin, who's over the laboratories, and they are trying to get a great 1-pager to 2-pager of why our test is different than other tests. So that's the 3 questions I've really seen. But like Duquesne mentioned, we're getting everything out there for you guys, and we're working to make sure that everything we're getting out to you guys are being translated. Sorry.
Somebody have a question?
Martina?
Yes, thank you. I would like to add something because thank you first of all putting YouTube the link in for. I was on the U call, and I do remember that Dr. Ram said that you can, in a longer term, after you've done a lot of changes, can repeat the genetic test because on certain things, it could have a change. So I'm gonna listen to the YouTube, to the U call again on the university call, and I think because I'm a nurse, I listened to that carefully, but I didn't know where to find it. I think there is something where she said, like people, change their lifestyles. There's certain
You did
genetic.
say that, and I do remember what you're talking about. There are some certain biomarkers that you can move the needle, and it's good to do a retest.
Thank you.
I did post in the chat the YouTubes from July 29th that were done by Dr. Ram. I also threw the Dropbox folder in there that has the presentation. So I did want to go through really quick and share. So this is a sample report of really what you're going to see as a user. And this is just a Jane Doe. This isn't anything significant, but this is what you're going to see anytime that you're going to get your genetics test. You're going to get a user ID and a login information for you, and then you can go through and you can download these to your computer. And really what's interesting is you can go through and there's a lot of different pages that you can look through. And this was just one of them. I can't remember, what did I click on? Slim. And so you can see all the genes are called out here. You can look at some product recommendations because you fell low on this one, and it explains to you why. It tells you why adding these adaptogenics will help support your system. And this is just one. I haven't even scrolled all the way down. This is just one of the results from the portion of the 6 that we told you about. So that was just this report summary of Slim. And look, you have all of these aspects that you can go to in this report. You then have Perform, which Dylan said this was one of his favorite ones in the aspects of it. Really, intrinsic motivation to exercise.
Wait, I don't get why does Dylan like performance-based stuff? I don't get it. Does Dylan care about his body and working out or something?
And working out, right?
Oh, sorry, my bad.
But look at this. So VO2 max, that's basically telling you like your capacity for like the training. VO2 max could be like low or high, and you could actually like tell yourself, oh, I can be long distance, or I can be short distance for training. These things will break down like exercise stroke volume response. That's in terms of like personal training. These like characteristics of what someone is will change the way they should be training themselves. And to me, this is one of the biggest things that you could possibly tell someone in your community.
Yeah, like somebody in your community could be running marathons once a week, and by looking at this result, it's like, actually, you should just be doing sprints. You shouldn't be running long distance, or you shouldn't be running at all.
Yeah.
And that's what's really helpful for when you're getting into wellness. And that's why we've really injected all of these aspects into the community, like the ROM Effect app, the genetics test, integrating our products with your test results, actionable things that you can do to move the needle on your wellness journey and getting you back on track. Or maybe you're Dylan and you're freaking built like a Greek god and you don't need help, but maybe you need something that is like keeping you on track and having another check-in. I know Dylan liked that.
Yeah, thank you.
There's
He had a
so
little,
many
you should have seen
aspects.
his smile, his little smile when you said that.
He is built like a Greek god. So, and then obviously here's the downloads. You can really download. I mean, look at all of these aspects that you can download, guys. It literally brings open this whole entire screen. I don't know who's writing on the screen. So, again, really to overshare. Hey, Joy, I just see you there on my main screen.
Have we talked about, I want to, because I know we're going to get questions about this, but have we talked about how the comp plan is working with this, Patrick?
We have not, but that is one of the aspects that I really wanted to close on because we got 15 minutes left.
And
my
I
time
do
check.
have 2 winners for what we talked about earlier.
Let's go.
Got the list, so we'll do that in the last 5 minutes.
So, what Duquesne is talking about is that, and we didn't tease this, but we mentioned it very briefly, is that with the price reduction in this genetics test from, and for those of you who remember, it was $750, it's now $499, which is huge. And another thing that we really haven't done a great job at communicating, and I really don't want it to seem like we're trying to take advantage of everyone, but if you have a customer that ordered the test and it was at $750, just to share what we're doing behind the scenes, because people have messaged me, we refunded the difference back to those customers. So I don't want people to think that we're doing something, shady, or we're trying to be nefarious in what we're doing. We refunded those customers the difference back to the $499. So if you do have anyone, and there was quite a few that had purchased those back when we originally launched this. But what's so great about the difference is that not only is it cheaper, not only are you integrating root products and that are aligned with your referral code, so that if somebody signs up under you, they're going to be purchasing those products under you, but we are offering this to have the level 1 and level 2 commissions, which hint, hint, level 1 and 2 commissions also help with the growth challenge for 2024, 2025. So you will be able to get 10 and 15% from a direct and indirect referral. So if you share this with somebody, you're going to get commissions on this. There is going to be a time delay in those commissions, but I believe it should only be 36 hours. It shouldn't be that much because we are checking them, I believe Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and pushing the commissions into your account. So it might be a delay in where you see them on your back office, but we are trying to provide a landscape in which you can make your business successful, and giving you the tools and the ability to promote this, to share, goes beyond making money. It goes into helping somebody learn their genetic disposition, who they are, and how they can make an impact. Because that is one of the hardest things to do, is to just get started, because analysis paralysis, there's so many different things. There's so many different ways to which we're even learning this about ourselves. You want to know how many conversations that Dylan Duquesne and I have had? We have too many products. We have so much now. And so we're trying to look at, when we go to an event, how do we slim down our product line to gear it towards where we're going to be at? If we're at a biohacking conference, if we're at a fitness expo, if we go to a beauty expo, we're going to be tailoring some of our products. And that's really what makes this test and this genetics test offering so unique for you, and unique across the field of what everyone is offering in the world's landscape. And so This is all for our community, and this is all to promote the products that Dr. Ram has created and formulated for you guys to talk about in another talking point with your customers. Duquesne, you have some winners, unless you have anything else, or Dylan, did I miss anything?
I think we're. I'll check the chats, by the way. People have more questions. So if anyone has a question about your next test, I'll do chat.
I just want to encourage people as well. And I know not everybody can do this, but if you are able and you have customers underneath you who are interested in this, potentially helping them to afford it. And that might be, look, if you're getting 15%, maybe put a portion of that back in their wallet to help them afford it. And I'm speaking a little bit from Dr. Ron's perspective, because I know this is something she would say, but at the end of the day, the Root community and specifically our ambassadors, we're all here to help people. And this test is such a huge tool on allowing people to take control of their own lives and to really live a life where they can pick stuff that will help them live well. And so, look, we had some intense conversations to get the pricing down from $750 to $499, and my Dr. Ram and I several times raised our voice as we were, and Patrick and Dylan, everyone was for this, but we were trying to work out the pricing. And so we got it to a lower point, and we're so happy for that. But also, you know, some of you all have more ability to help than others as well when it comes to helping customers underneath you afford it. And so just want to put that out there, because I really do believe this test, the products are all amazing, but this test paired with the products is really a game changer. And Dylan and Patrick, thank you all for the amount of work you two have put into it. I know the executive team wanted this pushed out, but I know you two worked your butts off to get it ready. So thank you for that, because this is exciting. I'll get off my soapbox and do the two winners. So we wanted to continue to remind people about the growth challenge. And we already have people only halfway through October who have already gone past their entire September.
Let's go.
Balance. And so we are really excited for that. And we want to start bringing attention to those people who are growing. And we're going to do this consistently. Now, we had a few caveats. We are focusing on people who are on the call, because we know people have asked that we include people on the call and kind of reward that more. The second caveat is some people had accounts that were not their names and they like are business names. And so the first two people I picked out were business names. I'm really sorry. I don't know who you are, but I have a level 1 winner and a level 2 winner. And so for level 1 winner, this person was number 3 on our list of growth so far. And that was Martina Fleming.
Let's go, Martina.
Wow. You just did my name. My husband just came home from work. He didn't hear it. He can understand English.
Martina won. Husband, wow. Martina won.
My girl won. Say hi to the people.
What she won?
I don't know actually, Patrick. What were we giving away? I didn't.
If
it's money token.
Oh, $100 token.
Okay, send it to me.
I'll spend this on him, so he will take his clean slate more seriously. Okay, thank you.
Awesome, congratulations. And
thank
then for level 2 winner, we have a Gabriella Bayer. Is she here? I saw we had a Gabriella, but I wasn't sure if that was the last name. Gabriella Bayer. Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. We also, so I picked a backup. I thought that might happen. Christina Bartlow. I believe she's here.
Yeah,
Christina
I think I saw her too.
Bartlow.
Yeah,
she's probably wrong.
I just asked her to unmute.
Thank you, Dylan and Patrick.
There you go.
Thank you.
Hey, Christina. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Christina,
awesome.
I think I read, aren't you a new ambassador for us?
No, I met you in Austin a couple of years. I've been with
That's
Root for
what it
3
was.
years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So happy to see you again.
Yeah, thank you. It's awesome.
Well, congrats to you as well. Your level 2 volume had grown a lot, and so that's why you were picked. And so awesome work. Both you all will have IT put a token in your account, or we'll message it to you. Patrick, I'm throwing that on Patrick. Patrick, you take care of that one.
Yep.
But good work, you all, and we'll continue to do this. And so if you think you've grown a lot next time, maybe put your, like, if you have a company that you work under, maybe put your company name so that maybe I'll know who people are. But both of you all had a lot of growth. And so we just wanted to say good work and congratulations.
Thank
And-
you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm still, thank you. You made my day.
Good. This is a good
Also-
way to really promote yourself and to continue to share. We're going to be doing these up until next year.
Martina, she sent me the nicest message the other day, so I just wanted to tell her thank you for that. I was having a bad day, and she sent a very sweet message, and so she might not want people to know that, but her message. Sorry, your message the other day made my day so much better. So thank you for that. That was really sweet.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for everyone over there. And I love you all. And I'm glad to be in the community. And I think a lot of people love you guys. And we have to share this. This is the time to share our hearts and to tell it to people. I think that's what we all need right now in times like this. So thank you.
Awesome.
We appreciate that because it's tough sometimes here at HQ because we're always trying to put out fires and help people, and things are always coming up that we're trying to stifle and try and solve and trying to make things better for y'all. So it's great to hear those little messages. So thank you, Martina. You guys deserve it. Thank you, everyone, for joining the call. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you're going to take some of these tools that we're providing you to utilize in your communities moving forward. We are trying to give you all the offerings available so that you guys have something that you can pull from in the future. Duquesne, do you have one more thing? You look like you did.
Just message us if there's something you think would be really helpful for this genetic test that we could give you all. And so Dylan already said we're working on the pager, what makes the one page what makes us different. And we'll have a one pager that explains what the test is as well. But let us know if there's anything else you all would like.
Wait, one more thing too. I got a question to answer for everyone. If you're in the EU, all the tests will be shipped back to our German warehouse, and they will be bulk shipped back to the US labs. Just want to point that one out. So when it says 30 to 45 days for results, just a reminder that we're doing bulk shipments to protect the results. I just want to say that out loud so we can all understand that.
Yes. Thank you, Dylan. Yes, that is true. And that's all written on the instructions that are in both English and German, what Dylan already said. So just follow the instructions on the kit. Make sure you do that very specifically and then ship that back as quick as you can so that you mitigate any type of length and time that it might take for the test results to come back to the US lab. And just so everyone is aware, we are working on a European lab partner, but that's like a 6-month integration and we didn't want to wait that long. I know this was a lot of work for Dylan and I and the team to put this forth and to bring this with the products integrated, to bring the new pricing. That was a huge discussion. I know that we ran past where we thought we were going to be for relaunching this again, but we didn't want to wait. And so we are working at setting up an integration with a European lab partner so that we can get some of the results done quicker and we don't have to worry about shipping them back to the lab that's in the US. But just keep that in mind that working with these labs isn't just a 1, 2, 3. It is difficult setting the integration up, making sure that you're communicating with that lab. And also from a security standpoint, we really want to keep them under the same roof so that the company is protected and all of your data that's collected is also protected and can be erased because it's all done through the cloud. So again, I know that that was a high topic of conversation. We want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable with that. With that being said, thank you everyone for joining us this Monday. Super helpful. Congratulations to those winners. Keep growing your level 1 and level 2. Please reach out to us at hello@therootbrands.com if you have any customer service issues or any questions from the call. Thank you so much.
One thing, sorry. Have we announced the RPS calls on the 28th?
I believe, yes, we put it in the newsletter. So the October 28th, we're going to be doing an RPS call.
Yeah. So join.
You don't want to miss it. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week. Enjoy it. Reach out if you need anything.
Bye, y'all.